Hello, everybody. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about keeping your mind aware and mindful, keeping a mind on awareness, and how that can really benefit and help those around you. When I talk about, being mindful and keeping your mind on awareness, it's really a reminder of sort of, what is our sort of core feeling, our core aspiration in our hearts and hearts. And that's to love all those around us. We have inside, deep within us, an aspiration to be compassionate to others. And that's, you know, in times when we're maybe sitting and meditate, we might find that, that's sort of the point of life is to love others. And keeping this in mind, if we are able to sort of be calm and peaceful, be mindful of this, we'll be able to give off an aura of sort of relaxed energy, peacefulness. Um, how that benefits others is really through your mindfulness practice, through kind of keeping your heart on this awareness of love. You can really help people who are getting caught up a little bit, maybe. You know, we've all been there. Like, I've definitely been there, but sometimes we just can't help but feel that, like, we're very easily swayed by the emotions of the world and the news cycle and just the events that are occurring in our lives. You can feel that we're, being led by whichever things go. Like if there's happy news, we're super happy, but that quickly dissipates whenever we hear any bad news or someone around us is experiencing a hard time. We might find that, we can sort of just be pushed here and there and just kind of have our emotions be a bit out of control. But when we're able to turn back to that mindfulness, when we're able to regain that awareness, we find a deep sense of peace. And we remember that, like, those news stories, this sad event, this happy event, all these things are all passing. Nothing's lasting forever. Things are coming and going. But the thing that sort of remains whenever we remember to look back at it is love and our aspiration towards love. When we remember and have mindfulness towards this moment, towards our inner sort of intentions, we realize things are not as big of a deal as they may seem in the moment. Something bad happens. I've stubbed my toe. That hurts. There's lots of pain. Do I need to kind of continue thinking about how painful it is 10 minutes after I've stubbed my toe? Or if I practice mindfulness, will I be able to sort of return back to the fact that, like, that's a passing moment? I don't want to upset those around me by continuing to be upset by my painful stubbed toe. And actually, if I look at it, it's no longer painful. In this way, I think we can start to see how beneficial being mindful and aware can be for our family, friends, and close loved ones, especially when maybe they're having a harder time getting back to that mindfulness. We practice having this mindfulness, being aware, it can definitely benefit all those around us. When someone we love is going through a hard time, maybe they're stressed, there's often times where they'll want to share with us, talk to us, vent about some of the hardships that they're going through in their life. And when we listen to our loved ones venting, there can be sometimes a tendency to get caught up in their suffering, get caught up in a way where, like, oh my gosh, I am really hearing how my beloved friend is suffering so much at work on a day-to-day basis, and it's causing him so much stress, and I feel so bad for him. And I wish that he wasn't going through this stress. So when we're not mindful, our friend venting, our loved one venting to us, sharing their life with us, can turn to us getting caught up in maybe some of the negative feelings that they're sharing with us. And, maybe for our friend, they don't intend to make us feel negative. Rather, they are seeking comfort, companionship, and love from us by sharing their lives with us. But for us to get a bit caught up in their venting, um, sort of doesn't give them the peace that they're looking for. Instead, it makes us feel ourselves worried about our friends or loved ones, makes us feel uneasy. And with that type of mindset, we're not really able to share love back to our friend and remind them that, like, what they're going through, I'm sorry that it's hard, but it will pass. And that we know that everything will be okay. If we can sort of listen to with a heart, an open heart, full of love for our friends and family, and with mindfulness, we won't be caught up and led sort of astray by this one moment's venting. You know, Perhaps our friends are just using this time with us just to share their lives with us. And it doesn't need to be, you know, something that defines our whole entire time together, this negative venting moment. It could just be that they're really looking for, some peace. And when we're mindful, we can give them that peace because we feel that peace. We remember that our time is limited, these moments are so limited. What do we want to imbue them with? Do we want to imbue them with our own worries and our own anxieties, you know, from all the things that are going on around us? Or do we want to imbue them with love, peace, and awareness that, you know what? I would do this over and over again. No matter how much suffering there is, for the sake of love, I would sit here and listen to someone I loved vent to me and tell me about what a hard time they're having. I would do it over and over again. So, what's the problem there? There's no problem. For love, we would do anything. So, listening to our friend vent and maybe, experience anxiety or stress ourselves, we would do it over and over again. So, why would we, there's no regrets there. Why would we hold back? Why would we not share in love? Why would we forget our aspirations to give love to our friends? With time being so limited, our time together so limited, wouldn't we always want to have our moments imbued with this love and this mindfulness? I think an important sort of feeling when um when we're around people, loved ones, or just people in general who are maybe going through a hard time, our sense of mindfulness and awareness can bring them a great deal of calm. Us not being swayed by the negative news cycle, us not being swayed by negative events or happy events, we can be a sort of steady, stable source of peace in others' lives. We can sort of remind them that, like, these feelings are not such a big deal. They'll come and go. We love them. We'll always be there for them. And then they'll begin to see that maybe even in the course of them experiencing some anxiety and stress or sadness, that it's okay. You know, these feelings of negativity are not all there is in the world. There's so much more to living than that. When we get caught up in worrying about others and others suffering, we might feel that, in the beginning, my best friend is venting to me about how hard her life is. I'm going to really see how hard her life is and kind of get on her level. We might feel like that's, true compassion. Like we are um sort of simpatico. We are really like feeling what our friends are feeling, but we can't really feel what our friends are feeling. We're not in their specific position. We're not living their lives for them. But what we can feel and what we can share with them through our mindfulness practice, through being aware of our ultimate compassion, which we all have, we just forget, is that things are okay. Even when things seem incredibly dire, even when things we feel like we're going through really, really hard, tough, very challenging moments. When we're around somebody who has sort of a calm mindfulness and awareness, we can begin to see that and be reminded of that too. Sometimes I myself have gotten very caught up in, the stories that I've heard from my family and my friends about things that seem unjust that happen to them and whatnot. But I think what's important is, you know, the fact that we love each other. You know, I can't take away their suffering through trying to experience their suffering by listening to it and by saying like, "Oh my gosh, that sucks so bad for you that that happened. I really feel bad for you." And actually try to imagine what it's like. I can't change what's happened, but I can help remind them that what's happened doesn't define their lives. All the suffering that they endure, it it's not the point of them living. I can remind them of that peace and calm, and that loving, compassionate nature by being mindful and aware. I hope this message is able to sort of help you and bolster your confidence in remaining mindful. It's a very worthy cause. Thank you so much.